So let's go ahead and get it underway. 5 minutes on the clock. The last European Rival Series session of
the day.
Until we get to North America later. And it starts off with Aries having a pass up into the midfield line, and they're just going to dump it back and say, we might need to rethink this one here for a second. And the Juicy Kids right on top of it out of the midfield. Nobody there to finish the job, though.
That was a big advantage opportunity for him, and Killer's going to come back in and maintain the pressure just a little bit longer. You've got two players right now playing on the back midfield, seeing how it's going to go. It's a bit tentative. I'd like to see them be a little bit more aggressive on those kind of plays, but they are still feeling out their opponents.
As this one will be cleared away into the open field for Aries to come right back at the Juicy Kids. And off the back wall, someone up a little bit late. Thankfully, Killer number 7 still able to find a clear. Tinny's going to race back into the midfield line, and that is a shot into the net. Double commit for Juicy Kids, but it went straight out into space, and they will have plenty of time to recover here. Into the blue corner, and that will be Cheerio to clear. Follow up over the top of two defenders. The last man home is going to just pop this over to the opposite end of the pitch. And Aries, I mean, I feel like they're driving pace of play, but also I don't exactly think they're generating a lot of chances, except for this one. It's off the back wall, and Cheerio cannot get it done.
Well, you know, possession is going to be important, but you got to do something with it.
Exactly.
And when you play those off the back wall like that, and that is exactly Sebadam's role. He is playing a little bit more of the third man in. We're watching the passes come through. Cheerio and Tinny are building it up, and then when they get enough confusion in the box, that's where Sebadam's going to come and find the gap.
And Frag just caught a little bit too far forward there out of net. Would have liked to have been a little bit further back on the line. Took a jump at it, but there was no way he was getting to that one.
It's a risk you got to take.
Not necessarily a risk or a desperation dive, but I see what you mean.
I'll take a bit of both.
So a good start for Aries here versus Juicy Kids, as that is punched off the corner. Killer number 7 at a stretch is just beat to the ball by Tinny. Pass to the top of the box. It's a good pass, but just slightly too far out of range. The Juicy Kids, a couple of good ideas. Killer number 7 trying to make things happen, as was going to have to make a tough save there. Thankfully, Sebadam just punched it off the wall, though. Tinny should be an easy save. Flicks it into the corner, and that will be Sebadam to clear. Misses the touch, though. Followed through by Frag and pushed into the midfield. Heavy to delay this push from Aries, as his team needs time to get back. Frag missing his corner boost. It will be scooped up by Sebadam. See if that favors them here. A soft clear from Killer number 7. There's a helping hand from both of his teammates, and that's going to make it tough to follow that ball up. As off the ceiling, well read by Killer, straight out to the side. Got the second touch as well. He's through the midfield line. Can he hang on to this one? Killer number 7 trying to do a lot for his team, which is exactly what I want, but you still need that support system from your other two players.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an individual play forward when we're talking about a defense as strong so far that Aries has shown. And on the other side, we're watching Aries build up pressure from the wings.
Ooh, that one slipped through. How did that one slip through?
I don't know. Watch the defender coming through on this one. It's tough because you see Killer make the first touch initially, and Tinny looked like he had a chance to make the play on this.
Oh, just backflipped.
Oh, no. I think we call that mere pixels.
You can call it that. Or you can call it feels backflip, man. The choice is yours, Unthink.
I like options.
All right. And that one actually finds its way into the back of the net off the kickoff. Frag going to make it 2-0 out of nowhere. Juicy Kids on top.
Frag plays this one really close and doesn't wait for even half of a second. He sees the touch originally from Cheerio, who's expecting to play off the wall and carry it up. And when he doesn't get the chance on that, Frag knows I can take advantage while this is still being teed up direct in center.
Very good follow through by Juicy Kids, taking advantage of opportunities presented. Killer number 7, top of the box, and I think that was Frag just a little bit too close as Heavy blast went off the back wall. Second touch almost into the net, and Heavy is looking to say, yes, I am indeed part of the Rival Series, and you will fear me.
Can you imagine him getting that third one in that quickly?
It would have been nuts. Bit of an awkward clear situation here for Aries. Gonna allow Heavy to fight for possession here along the side wall as Killer number 7 to continue the pressure for Juicy Kids. Popped over the top and off the back wall. Should be an easy save for Tinny. There's a demo back on the Juicy Kids half of things. Might make this push a little bit slow, and it will indeed be just slow enough to let Cheerio bomb that one away. And now we're going to see if Aries can make a drive happen here, as that's a bit of a weak clear. As the follow-up there out of the midfield, it's a double commit, and that's going to make the follow-through into the shot a little bit tougher. And indeed, they kind of froze as they approached that corner. Off the back wall, Heavy misses the clear, and that will be a free one. Sebadam says, thank you very much. You can't afford to make a mistake. You're still the new guy here, Heavy.
He's got to be able to get that touch, and he's got to make it out to the wing in time, because when that sets up on top of center, even if you've got 2 defenders in line, they're not expecting the chance to have to turn for that.
Exactly.
And then you've got a quick offensive strike. Also, big opportunity taken from Aries to be able to play that in as quickly as possible, because that stray ball was not going to be there very long.
So they tie it up with about a minute left. And Juicy Kid's going to have to battle a little bit harder than they would like for a Game 1 victory here. As Heavy off the ceiling, it's a race. Killer number 7's late, and Shirio will just clear it away. Frag to continue it off the back wall, and again, well defended by Tinny off that backboard. As here comes Heavy, it's a long drive and a fly to get to that ball. As this one's out in front, Frag going to be shut down by Tinny, and Tinny has been huge on defense so far, coming out of all the weird places. That's a great bump in the net, but Killer number 7 not quite ready for it, as Heavy now tries to keep things going. Again, Juicy Kids, a lot of pressure on the blue half, but not a lot of shot chances, as Tinny tries to go under one and Heavy to push it away.
Aries did a good job transitioning to defensive mindset and keeping
Open
really
net,
close,
hello?
but that's not enough. They didn't roll back
net.
fast enough. They expected the transition to move into offense as quickly as possible, because they have to make this happen quick in the bottom 30 seconds. And Killer sees the opportunity and says, if this one's going to go out and you guys are going to extend, I can take this one before we have to go to overtime.
And that is very unfortunate for Aries, and now it's them who's going to have to battle ridiculously hard to try and get this one just to overtime. As this is going to be Tinny straight across the pitch. Jumping for it is Sebadam, and they can't get it through Heavy. Blasted down the field, wasting a lot of time off the precious clock remaining. That will be tapped into the midfield. No one can get to it. Juicy Kids, you know, I want to say they stole Game 1, but I think Aries kind of just fell apart there for one split second.
I think Aries panicked in the last 30 seconds because they had the hold on defense and they were fine. And the second they moved to transition and try to play in the offense as quickly as possible in that bottom 30 seconds, when they heard that timer go off, they immediately started transitioning. And then Killer takes 1 second to go, if I get possession here, I'm going to get a quick one, and they're not going to be able to recover.
And again, overall, Juicy Kids, I felt really dictating a lot of the pace of play. Aries, I felt pretty sound defensively, I think. It's not like they made glaring mistakes apart from the one where, you know, you left the net open. But overall, they were able to hold off the pressure fairly well. But there were still a lot of shots being generated from Juicy Kids, but I don't feel like it was the passing. It was more just kind of shots that were registered like, oh, you want a challenge coming out of the midfield, and the shot registered a game. I don't think there was like super dangerous chances for Juicy Kids. Overall, I think Aries held out well. It was just that one little mistake.
Agreed. I do feel like Juicy Kids played a more reactive style in this matchup, where they really weren't building opportunities so much as they were waiting for mistakes. And that's okay. You can definitely play that style. You can't play through the whole series. But in your Game 1, when you're trying to feel out your opponent who hasn't been in the series, or the rival series so far, that's actually a good play to make.
Yeah, I mean, so now Killer number 7, I wanted him to step up big. Got 2 assists and 1 goal, involved in all 3 for his team so far. But you really only got to see that triple treble offense come to life as soon as you start to see that support network that we talked a little bit about early on in that Game 1 start getting involved. As soon as Frag came forward and said, all right, Killer number 7 is actually doing insane work out of the midfield and beating multiple people. So that's another big thing I think Aries needs to figure out. How do you stop this guy from just driving through your entire team?
Killer's clearly been lifting in the offseason. There's no question there. There's been a lot. He's incredible coming into this one.
I will agree.
He's woken up, I think, knowing he has to support Heavy coming into this and say, how do we allow you to start performing with the rest of the team? He took a little bit of the weight. He is going to hand that off, and it's going to be Heavy's time to pick it up. And we saw one mistake from Heavy, but for the most part, I felt like he fell in line with the proper rotations. He knew when the pressure play was coming, and he held to the team dynamic. And that's what you want out of a team. And after that, you just have to work on the small stuff.
And again, that's really big stuff from Heavy, because you are coming in sort of last second almost, and they're like, hey, you have to play in the rival series and make us win games. And he's saying, look, just tell me where you need me and I'll go there. So again, Heavy being that nice support, say, whatever you want to do, I'll go do the other thing. Yeah. So really nice stuff from Heavy. Moving on into game number 2. Aries, little things to work on here. You got to stop Killer number 7 from just cruising all over you in the midfield. And then, of course, I think they'd like to find some stronger clears out of their own half.
Oh, that's a good start. It's looking good. And again, already coming through Aries, they like to play quickly off of the face-off. A big point for them is if they can get the early game here, they're not going to have to worry so much about the pressure play that they saw from the Juicy Kids in the last match, in which they can start making their own ownership of this game and take more map control.
We'll see if they can make that happen, as Tinny wants a back pass. Got a little bit under the ball, though, and that's going to buy plenty of time for Juicy Kids to just push up on this one and keep the drive going. Cheerio into the midfield, a quick turnaround from Heavy as here comes killer number 7 just bearing down on Tinny. Says you got to make a play, and now that's a lot of pressure for Juicy Kids. Tough shot for Frag, and he will be met at the corner of the box by Aries, and it is finally cleared downfield. So again, Aries having to hold out a little bit early on, but can they transition smoothly to offense here as this one goes in front of the orange net? Tinny off the corner, Cheerio waiting patiently at the top of the box. He's going to dodge a demo and take a one off the back wall, and it's just a scamper back to the blue side for 7
It was a quick, patient play. It didn't look like it was going to be really meaningful, but at the same time, if you can keep the pressure up for an extra second, you get a chance to take your team rotate, pick up more boost, and come back in for a full attack.
Tinny, great read from the side wall. Free ball for killer number 7. Punched off the back wall. Heavy's up nice and early. He's got the net, and what a stop from Cheerio. Reading the shot angle, got under it, forced it to the side, and again, tons of time bought for Aries. Huge stop.
Definitely good comprehension of the play. He knew that if he could get at least a little bit of a hitbox on it, it was going to disrupt enough.
Oh, that's a great pass to the side. Killer number 7 gets the wheels on it. As Juicy Kids now hanging on a little bit. Awkward scenario for Cheerio there in the midfield, and 7 also caught a little bit off guard by the bad challenge attempt, and thankfully Tinny's able to bail him out there back on their own half. But a little bit more even keel, I feel, between both of these teams. Aries able to push over onto that orange side a little bit more. Can they convert this one, though, as it's popped off the back wall, and Heavy will cruise into the corner?
I think both teams at this point have matched pace, and really it's now coming down to, okay, now how do we create better opportunities? There's been some short ones. There hasn't really been anything significant in front of the goal, but that might change right here.
Through killer number 7 again, drives through everybody completely unassisted at just about the halfway point.
They waited long enough, but they give Killer a little bit of room on the wing. That's the second time he's gone from that spot and been incredible. They can't let him be over there. Shadowing him, keeping him close, demoing him, whatever you got to do, you've got to force him out of his comfort zone.
Force him off the ball, that is for sure. As he has made them pay, and made multiple people pay, even in last rival series. You cannot afford killer number 7 to be in charge of the ball. Tinny trying to line up that pass over to Cheerio at the top of the box was a little bit short. And now it's Heavy to clear from the side wall. Pass into the middle. The only one there is killer number 7. Solid continuation. No follow-up, though, but just buys a little bit of time for Frag to get set back on their own half. And again, he's just saying, give me some space. I'll do my thing. And still, no real answer from Aries for killer number 7. He's just dancing all around him. This one is Aries fighting for possession in the midfield. They just scoop up the boost and give up the ball. Doesn't make a difference. Sebadam blast one downfield and Frag into the corner.
Nice play here, connecting again. You're seeing a chance for them to get something, but that is a big mistake.
Ooh, he made
it. Almost the overextension that would have cost them there. Good turn from Cheerio. He goes last second. He says, you know, maybe I should head back for this one.
Just on the off chance that's on net. Oh, good. Pass across, back wall, and met by Sebadam. A nice block. Killer number 7 not able to muscle one through on a dribble now. Sebadam not able to get it through Frag. Cheerio to help out. Pass to him. It's a great setup, and that one is just punched high. Solid shot attempt for Aries, but the placement very tough to get, especially challenged for possession there right at the corner of the box.
They're keeping real close to the wing out there, and they're forcing any opponent who comes through to slow down. Aries is going to do a good job keeping that left wing opposed because they know that that's where the big goals are coming through.
Number 7 pushing downfield, and that will be pushed aside by Cheerio, no problem. Sebadam in charge, and he will be late to this ball. Got a little bit too much behind it trying to transition out of defense. And the second attempt is successful. They push all the way onto the Juicy Kids half. Sebadam wanted that one straight sideways. A little bit too far behind it. It's an easy clear for the Juicy Kids now. Cheerio trying to keep it up, and that is going to go all the way down to the other side. And hello, Sebadam. He's just chilling back there in the third part of the pitch, saying, no problem, these things happen.
Definitely wants to be able to feed the offense off of a chance like that, and that's looking close again. Almost. Frag, great save.
Great save is right, but now it's the final 15 seconds. Aries are kind of just throwing themselves at this ball. They have to. That's a great slow play from Tinny just to get it through one. They want the demo in the net. Sebadam can't get through killer number 7 in the midfield. He is demoed for his efforts, and it might make the difference. Just got in front of the ball and made it so tough to push to the other side, and that is going to find the back of the net. Killer number 7 doesn't have time to let them out 1-0. He's going to make it 2-0 at no time.
He doesn't need to do it, but man, it looked good again in the exact same position.
That right wing.
What are you going to do? You got to shut down Killer. He's clearly waiting for a chance to play out there because he knows he's got a lot of angles from that corner where he works really, really well there. If they can shut him down, they may have to just, it may come down to demoing him, the Chiefs, because really.
Just hit him.
Just hit him. Get
to
more
be fair,
aggressive.
they tried that.
I know. I believe they tried it, and you know what? It may take a little bit more of a continuous effort on that part.
That's definitely probably the case. So killer number 7 again, top of the scoreboard, 395 score. Frag in second place with 190. He has doubled at least both of his teammates' performances. Okay, not quite. No, wait. Caster math checks out. Yes, he did double it. Thank you, Unthink.
I was going to let you have it either way.
you were going to give me the benefit of the doubt. I appreciate that. But you're absolutely right. You got to find an answer to that guy. Killer number 7, a heck of a job out of the midfield. Again, not necessarily trying to be the goal scorer. He's really, as the first man through, as killer number 7 often is, you're never trying to score the ball. You're really just saying, hey, someone come and help me out with this. Frag has been up there for that. Heavy has been there when he's needed to. And more often than not, the second chance just comes through and killer number 7 makes a heck of a play on it. Or he just dribbles through everybody.
It's very much a I'll be there kind of mentality. Like, hey, the second I know their rotation comes through, we've watched the pattern, we know we can play it out. If there's a chance, I'll be there. And then when they get it over there, that's exactly what they need to do.
So it's game number 3. Aries shut out in game 2. And Sebadam, Tinio, and Shiria, again, not feeling like they did anything particularly wrong, just not enough.
It was a close game. If we're talking about the shots on goal, it was only one in difference, and that was the goal. So.
Absolutely. And they get things started off right here in game 3. Aries on the board first. Tinny unassisted.
Remember when we talked about them needing to get the early game to start pulling ahead like that? Tinny does not waste even a second. He uses all the boosts he's got right off the faceoff to make the difference here. That's a great play to get him right in it. And if you want to shift the momentum away from a team who could potentially be taking the series, you got to do it.
Got to hang on to it now. As that kickoff into the blue corner, Sebadam's going to be late. Killer number 7 just going to cruise out, let Heavy challenge this one out of the midfield, and a nice cut to the right-hand side. Frag now off the sidewall to himself, wants the continuation, and Sebadam, much easier angle to read that from. Makes a solid effort to get it out to Tinny. Pass through the middle, continued by Sebadam. Can he find another one in the corner? He will not. Should be a free ball for Frag. Just stolen away by Chirio in the midfield line. Heavy waiting patiently in the net. Gives himself some space. Didn't make the touch, but either way, stopped the initial chance from Aries. And Juicy Kids now figuring out how to work their way onto the offense, as right now Aries are kind of all over the ball. The back passes, stealing away a lot of the boost, as you see right there in the corner. They're not letting Juicy Kids get comfortable.
Aries has definitely been heavy in possession, and they're just waiting for one chance. You actually saw a ball roll completely across the box. It looked like it was going to be a difference maker, but they're not going to jump in on the risky one right away. They're only up by 1. They can't live on that cushion.
Heavy wanted it himself and just easily turned aside. The 1-2 tap off the back wall. Killer number 7, tight angle, needs some help, and that will be a breakaway chance. Tinny's going to race this one down to the other end of the pitch. Heavy went for it all, and to be fair, he was close. But close isn't good enough.
I think he made the right move. I think he didn't get the right touch. And the second the defense sees that, they can counter and transition immediately. And you want to be able to, as long as you get the right play on that, you just have to stay strong. And they didn't stick to the line too long. That was important for them.
And honestly, to be completely honest, don't think?
Honestly, that's good.
I think Juicy Kids, I agree with you. I think it was the right play. Send the house. Try and get that quick early equalizer. You're already up 2 games in the series. Yes, you would like to not give them a game 3, but I don't think there's anything wrong trying to keep yourself active and present in this game 3 to try and take it in 3.
You want to shut down that momentum as quickly as possible, and if you can get close into it in the first 2 minutes, that's the way you got to do it.
Precisely. But now the problem is twofold. Juicy Kid's going to have to find 2 in the next 3 minutes to at least force overtime. And Heavy gives ground here. Thankfully, that touch was not off the back wall, and it went straight to the side. Killer number 7. Hard clear off the ceiling. And again, Tinny coming off the walls. Heck of a defensive showing from that guy all series long. Pass to the top of the box and just out of reach. Killer number 7 stretching, couldn't get there.
That looks good. He's trying to be a bit more unpredictable. You're seeing him start playing more for infield passes. He's calling for those. They're not connecting, but you can see that he's trying to shape it up a little bit differently because Aries is going to start reading them.
So we'll pass the halfway mark here in game 3. Juicy Kids still struggling to get the offense really started here. Over the top. Sebadam towards the net and Heavy off the back wall. Killer number 7 again, sole proprietor of the ball, slow floater, and Sebadam comes out of the corner.
What a great clear from Heavy. That was such a good setup.
It was. As Cheerio now. Corner, that's a demo from Killer number 7, and they almost tried to go into the near post, and all 3 members of Juicy Kids ready on defense. He needs a little bit of help though from Frag there, as Killer number 7 has some space to work with. Misses a touch, free ball for Sebadam, and now Heavy kind of caught in a weird spot. He's like, look man, I just wanted the boost, and now he's got to play defense, and Juicy Kids are all tied up on their own half right now. Out of the corner, I think Cheerio probably should have tried to play that a little bit quicker there, just because you know they're strapped for boost. They just got a guy demoed. Juicy Kids were kind of floundering there for a moment. Now they have a chance to score as that one's right on target. Again, second effort, Heavy gets it home, and they're back within 1.
You know, you knew that they were going to have to come in and do something like this eventually. With the time ticking, they couldn't play down 2, and Heavy waits for this one. Having that patience in the box is tough. It's a real shaky situation because you want to be able to play it as quickly as possible, but you don't want to wait and miss an opportunity. And so that was a great time for him to turn, make the right play, get the goal. They're right back in it now, 2-1.
And now the Juicy Kids approaching the final 60 seconds. Need another one. This one off the ceiling, no follow through. Sebadam, there's a bump in the net. Well played, sir, and that is going to free ball for Aries.
Well, we did not have to wait very long for an answer, did we, Achieves?
We did not.
That was a good one, and you know what? Heavy expected it to bounce off of the ceiling and gain control for a second touch, and when he didn't get it, it drops right into Sebadam's lap.
And again, good bump in the net, securing that ball. Make sure you get that 2-goal lead right back. And honestly, even with a minute left, usually I don't think the game's over, but to be fair, Juicy Kids have not generated a lot of dangerous scoring opportunities here in this game. I feel pretty good about Aries here so far, barring some, crazy Killer number 7 antics, of course.
Which are somewhat probable.
Here's a touch from Frag, and well met by Cheerio. Heavy's timing his challenge out of the midfield, gets it through 2 defenders. Touch from Killer number 7, Tinny's there to meet it again. Heavy figuring out how to beat out and steal this ball from Tinny. Ends up in Frag's hands though, dribbles up the side wall and out towards the corner and stopped by Tinny. Not a good touch. Killer number 7 actually missed the ball and popped right back into him into the blue corner, and it's another breakaway chance here for Aries down onto the orange side. Lofted off that back wall and a great stop from Frag. But the final 13 going to begin to tick. And that's probably going to be it here for Juicy Kids, as Aries again really getting things done. A nice quick start, 6 seconds into the match, off the kickoff, getting things going your way. You battle for that goal in 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Heavy gets one back to get him within 1, and then again, just the calm, cool, collected, throw him out of the net, give your teammates a chance to score. They will. It's a textbook game here for Aries, I feel like. And Cheerio, that guy's sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard with 70 score, and the funny thing is, it feels like they didn't even need him. He was kind of just like, okay, you've got it.
He was making efficient plays on the back end, but he also had the one strong assist that made the difference there. You know what? They shut down Killer just a little bit there. That was good. That was the right play for them to be able to make. Heavy showed up. I liked it a lot. I'm thinking that that's going to be something important for them to say, okay, you fit here. When there's mistakes like that, you know that Heavy can be confident there. And even in that last 20 seconds where Killer missed that touch where it really looked like it might have gone 3-2, that wouldn't have been a potential game win for them necessarily. They still had a lot to pick up off the kickoff. But Heavy was still there to pick up the slack when he didn't make that touch. He knew in his mind that risky play was important for them.
Went for it all.
You need that mentality on your team, and that's the right way to have it. But I got to say, Aries, this is what they needed. They really needed that early game potential.
You definitely needed a win. So I think moving into game number 4, Juicy Kids, I think you keep the same idea. Because like you said, I liked what Heavy did. Send the house, see if you can get one through, get yourself right back into it. You've got another game to work with. Obviously, you don't want to lose game 4 because you never know what happens in game 5. But again, I'm looking for Tinny to keep the defense going. He was so solid coming off of those back walls, making some really tough clears and saves for his team. So I like Tinny here in Game 4 as well.
One thing that's going to work if they can take advantage of a bad backboard pass is going to be crashing the box, exactly as you said, and that'll be big for them. Juicy Kids can certainly make that happen.
Well, Killer number 7 and Heavy both jump for that ball. Should be a free clear here for Aries, as that is a great challenge from Tinny out of the midfield and forced it onto the orange half. Cheerio to continue. 7M waiting very patiently in the midfield, trying to read where Frag's putting that ball. Great skip out into the top of the box. Tinny not able to go cleanly. Right side, and that's an open net. Gets a second chance, and Cheerio just can't get around the ball. Tough break for Aries.
Gets it right on the nose, but it does not go where he intends, and that's so disappointing because you know that that was a big chance for him.
Exactly. Again, get that engine started early here in Game 4, and Juicy Kids just let off the hook. Killer number 7 to continue. 1-2 tap out of the corner and almost floats over 7M. Back wall and cleared away by, again, 7M. Long touchdown field. Easy stop for Heavy on the orange side. Out of the corner, and Frag to clear into the midfield. Up to Heavy, pass down, and it's out of reach of Killer number 7's got to wait his turn. Slow floater into the net, and Tinny will tap that one away. Frag pass. They want the demo in the net. Make it the shot to the right side. Juicy Kids started off in Game 4.
Killer says, oh, the door's not open. Hold on.
Allow me.
Yes, completely takes him out of this one, and it actually looked like Cheerio wasn't going to have a problem making the stop. It was actually a fairly light shot. That demo meant everything to get that goal.
And I really think, I want to go ask Frag. Frag, did you mean to shoot that ball or pass that ball? But that's the best part. It doesn't matter, because it was in either way. As Heavy on a dribble out of the midfield, cuts hard and slammed into the net. Heavy getting it done.
This is a good handoff from Frag, winning that one play and getting the demo out on the wall. And then Heavy takes a full answer to this one because, again, you get stuck on the line like that, Tinny doesn't have a shot to make the block on the play. Also, good flick from Heavy.
Good. Well, not necessarily
no
flick, but
he rolls it.
Sure. Why not? As that one is 7M having to dive in front of the net. The potential final game in the series. As currently Juicy Kids, they've got their own quick start going here in Game 4. As this one rolls around the corner, everybody up, and Frag will pick the top left-hand corner. Aries kind of caught scrambling, trying to grab boost and figure out where they need to be off of that weak clear.
7M did want to get that clear a bit more significant. He needed to get the right flip on it, and when that doesn't come through, Frag takes full advantage. It's a simple touch here from the defense, and they've got to make those clears important because if they can transition off of them versus having to come back into defense, they have time for boost.
And again, a good answer here from Juicy Kids in Game 4. We said we wanted to keep that aggressive mentality, and they have done just that, and it has paid off in spades for them here. As now Heavy in charge. Can he go over the top again? And off the back wall, Cheerio able to make a tough stop. Killer number 7, and that is off the nose of Frag. Heavy tries to keep control, but Aries trying to get a push going. Killer number 7 just wheels around in the midfield, and they're not letting them out of their half for free. It doesn't matter how much boost they have, they're just going for it. It's that one towards the net. Easy stop by Frag. And again, Tinny had a big chance there to find the back of the net. Coming at a tough angle to try and pick a big spot, but you need to make that happen. You don't have a lot of time. You're on match point.
They've only had a few opportunities really to make a big play here, and it feels like Aries is stuck on defense still. And to be fair, there's a lot of pressure coming in from the Juicy Kids, so there's no surprise they have to handle it that way, but they want to be able to get out of their own half or they're not going to be able to make the difference.
Well, Aries is starting to string together a little bit of a drive here. It all comes down to 7M out of the corner as that one will roll in front of the net, and Cheerio indeed goes through 3 defenders, and he's cut the lead to 2.
Definitely a big chance for them to make the play here. The great touch from 7M, who leans it over both defenders. And when you have a defender who's on the wall, you know that you've got a big chance to close it out close to the line because they don't have a whole lot of ground to get that clear.
Exactly. A good continuation from 7M out of the corner. Juicy Kids not playing that back post defense, letting them come to that ball. And that is punched into the net off the kickoff as well. Cheerio sets up Tinny, and out of nowhere, you got a ball game.
When I asked them to move into more offense, I didn't think they would do it right away. But this looks really good. Tinny comes in as the third man from the play, and the defense is already covering and planning on a full clear. And when Tinny gets there first, there's no challenge.
So in 5 seconds, Aries have cut the lead to 1. And they've got 2 minutes to find an equalizer. As As Frag down to Heavy, he's in a 1-on-2 here, just sets one up. Killer number 7 to come and take it. Wanted that top left corner. You saw him angle his nose down for that placement. And either way, covering a lot of options was Aries. Solid defense again. Killer number 7 gives up his own corner boost to try and get this ball out into the midfield. Tenny just ran by that ball, maybe hoping that midfield boost would spawn. Either way, Aries finds himself in charge here in front of the orange net, and Killer number 7 to clear now. Up the field, Tenny waiting on the back wall, goes and gets it. Excellent read. Again, he's been locked down as that one's almost over the head. Cheerio has to jump up real quick. And Juicy Kids denied a big insurance goal as we approach the final minute.
Tinny and Cheerio do a great job juggling the responsibility of getting that ball out as quickly as possible.
Oh,
that's
you're kidding. Back wall and out. Tough break.
That's something that you would expect Sebedem to be able to hit, but he didn't have anyone to back it up, so when they do that, they have to go on a full rotation. That's tough, and in the last minute, they need those opportunities to count.
Tinny slams one into the orange corner. Frag gets it through the midfield. Sliding across the net, and they cut him down. You're kidding. How do you thread the needle, Aries?
Unbelievable. He gets it. There's no space at all between these defenders. Look at that. Killer is literally on the ball. I love it. Here we go.
I love it too.
3-3.
3-3 is right in game 4. And if you're Aries, you're like, let's go to overtime. Well, you know what? Forget overtime. We got 40 seconds left. We found the back of the net twice in under 3 minutes. Just about 2, in fact. As this one will be now Juicy Kids maybe a little bit complacent, thinking, yeah, we've got this one unlocked. We were up 3-0, and out of nowhere, you're looking at overtime here in 30 seconds. You got to get back into shape here on offense.
Ooh, nice roll. He can hold this one if he gets close, but he's got 2 on the midfield right now. And so when Sebedem goes in for the touch, he's got to wait for his teammates. Woo. They're a little bit too far back to make a commit on that play.
The final 10 seconds. This one again out in front of the Juicy Kids net. A great clear all the way down to the other side. Tinny's going to launch this one high up onto that side wall. The only people there is Orange and Heavy trying to get one last-ditch effort here. It will indeed make its way to overtime. Aries with some late-game heroics have found an equalizer and are looking to go all the way to game 5. Killer number 7 on the dribble. High over the top of the blue box. It's a race. Frag wins that one. Back wall and almost punched through into the net. Sebedem coming across out of his own corner to clear into the midfield, though. Killer across. Back to Killer. They do not get that one through. They hang on. Heavy again sends the house. They stop that one, too. Cheerio says, get out of here.
Cheerio says, no thank you. Not today. Now we have a chance to transition. Look at this. Coming already back over. Wow. You get to recover in the goal like that quickly.
Big stuff.
That's big stuff.
As Frag now again pushing into the Aries side of things. That will be a free clear for Sebedem. Cheerio trying to figure out where this clear is going to be off the back wall. He's got it lined up. They want the left side, and that will be pushed just into the corner by Heavy. A quick dive across, and they will also hang on by a thread. A big stop by Juicy Kids as well. Into the blue corner, orange corner, excuse me. I've got my colors all mixed up. This one onto the top of the blue box. No shot coming as Sebedem just delays. Has a chance from Sebedem into the right side. It's Killer number 7 on a dribble. Nice clear off of that side wall over the top of one and almost into the net. I wasn't sure if Sebedem was going to make it all the way back in time. As here comes Frag down into Heavy and one more time into the blue corner.
I think everyone was holding their breath on that play. That was as close to the 90 as it gets for a shot.
This one up into the midfield line. Here comes Juicy Kids. Heavy beat down to the ball. Out of the orange corner, big miss. Doesn't matter, no one's there. Everybody from Aries expecting a clear, and there was plenty of ground to work with. Off that top corner. Killer number 7, a little bit of a surprise pop. The net's open. Heavy has to dive across, throws it into the safety of the corner again. And Juicy Kids having to play some tough defense here in this overtime. They've had one big opportunity, but other than that, Aries has been pretty stiff out of the midfield.
Not only did Heavy close out that play, but he also managed to grab the boost in the corner and force the rotation. And that was a big deal for them because they had to get that pressure off as quickly as possible.
Cheerio blasted off the back wall. Tinny waiting. He keeps it close. They want the demo in the net. They don't make it in time. Killer number 7 stands tall in the box, and that'll be a clear from Heavy now. Long touch from Frag, stealing away that Aries corner boost. Killer number 7 and Heavy coordinate to get that one across. It's dangerous for Aries. That one finds its way into the back of the net. Heavy sets up frag. They take it in game 4 OT.
The precision he takes on this play is absolutely incredible. Gets it just over Churio, who has been so strong on defense. Had to break him eventually. To take enough shots, there was going to be something big there.